Sorry about the abrupt ending last time. I sort of ran out of time. But this is my online or no, excuse me. This is my work sample, and the work sample is also about the AutoCAD wiki, which I left off on. So I'm going to switch right over to that now. This is for my AutoCAD class. I designed this block to help give the students lessons on AutoCAD. And to start this off, just like everyone else did, we had to start with a pre-test. So for my pre-test, I used a Google Documents. Had the students fill the pre-test out here. That way it got sent to a spreadsheet for me to be able to copy and paste into Excel so that I could do my graphs. Worked pretty well. I'll get into a little bit more of that later on. But then I also have all my lessons, which I did give in the classroom, but I felt like it was best to give it again. Just like I'm doing now, I use Jing to create these lessons, and the great thing about these is students can go through and rewatch every lesson that I gave beforehand. So if I sort of zoom ahead here, you can see, here, let me turn this down. You can see exactly what I was doing. I was able to talk to the class, explain to them how to do it. So if a student, for instance, didn't catch something, or perhaps they're a special education student, they could come back and watch these as often as possible. And I did one of these lessons for every different tool that I went over. With that information there, the students then did AutoCAD drawing files, which are hard for me to show you here, but I can show you my data. Let me stop this. My data, this is from my test. Alright, I just broke it up into basic question by question graphs. What does CAD stand for? Correct answer, computer-aided drafting. Originally, 6 students got that right. At the end, 11 students got that correct. Overall, I think that I needed to talk more about what CAD stood for, refer to it as computer-aided drafting more. I go through my different questions. What's orthographic projection? Kids started off knowing a lot about that from our last unit. That trend continued on. What tool makes duplicating lines a set distance away from the first? These were all like questions specific to AutoCAD, so students didn't really have any introduction to this. Statistics went up significantly in many of these categories. What's diameter of a circle referring to? Students were already familiar with these basic math terms. Where do you begin a circle? All in all, students guessed originally, but for the most part, 10 out of 18 got it right in the end. Ultimately, I went through and I decided that originally students pre-tested with 46, and ultimately they only increased to 72. I think that this goes a lot with the fact that in AutoCAD there are many different ways to do one special thing. Students average 83 on their drawings overall in class. Operations such as the offset tool and trim tool are special, and they're not actually necessarily needed at all points. But they do make AutoCAD faster. So in the future I'm going to talk more about how those types of tools will help them do their drawings faster than any other type of way. I guess I'll have to break this up again into another section, and I'll talk about the student performance for the 2 students that I selected.